Well, good Tuesday morning, everybody. And it is December. Wow, we're in that last month of the year. Hard to believe that we are already there. It seems like we just started doing these devotions, and that was way back in March, for pity's sakes. March 16th, I believe, was the first devotion we did. Not counted them out, but boy, we've done a lot since then. But today we have got ourselves down, we're in the 12th chapter of Luke's Gospel. We're down to verses 41 to 48. I think I'm lagging there. I apologize. You may not have heard that. We are in Luke's Gospel, verses chapter 12, verses 41 to 48. I apologize. The internet connection, which is weird because I'm streaming on my data, usually does not do that when I do that. Usually that happens if I'm trying to use the Wi-Fi. So I apologize for that interruption there. But the heading now is the faithful or the unfaithful slave. We just got talked yesterday, ended up talking about being filled and being prepared, being ready. We're supposed to put on the armor and be ready to go. And are we filled with the word? Are you ready for the master to come? And here Peter's going to ask Jesus a question and for some clarity. So clarity is a good thing, isn't it? So let's look at this. Chapter 12 of Luke's Gospel, verses 41 to 48. Peter said, Lord, are you telling this parable for us or for everyone? And the Lord said, who then is the faithful and prudent manager whom his master will put in charge of his slaves to give him their allowance of food at the proper time? Blessed is that slave whom his master will find at work when he arrives. Truly I tell you, he will put that one in charge of all his possessions. But if that slave says to himself, my master is delayed in coming, and if he begins to beat the other slaves, men and women, and to eat and drink and get drunk, the master of that slave will come on a day when he does not expect him, at an hour that he does not know, and will cut him to pieces, and put him with the unfaithful. That slave who knew what his master wanted, but did not prepare himself or do what was wanted, will receive a severe beating. But the one who did not know and did what deserved a beating will receive a light beating. From everyone to whom much has been given, much will be required, and from the one to whom much has been entrusted, even more will be demanded. So there does seem to be some hierarchy there of responsibility, doesn't it? But we want to be careful. Peter's asking this because he doesn't know. Are you just talking about us, the leadership here, or what? And Jesus is talking there about a slave. It's a steward, the household steward, the one in charge of the going-ons of the home. Usually, you had in the Roman households, you had a slave. This is really more towards the Romans, actually, in a strange sense. But you had someone in charge of the household, and it was generally a slave. Could be that way in the Jewish households too. And so the master's gone away, and he's left that person in charge. So we could really easily read this and say, aha, this is only talking about. We could even go to the extent of just talking about the disciples, and we don't need to worry about this because disciples are, that was way back 2,000 years ago. We don't need to worry about this today. Or we could say, well, he's only talking about the people in leadership, the pastor, maybe the church council chair or something like that, or some of the people on the councils. By the way, if you're on a Christian council, we have a meeting tonight at 6:30. Don't forget, bring your budget items. Or he could, what exactly is he talking about? What level are we talking about? Well, a steward is put in charge of something. Guess what? We're all, as Christians, we come into this Christian faith. We all have a charge of something as we come in. If nothing else, we're placed in charge of our own faith, and so we have to tend to that faith and to grow that faith and to nurture that faith. And that's our responsibility, folks. Others can help us along the path, but each of us individually, if you're not feeling like you're growing in your faith, well, you can go to others for help in doing that, but ultimately it's up to you to pick up that book, to say those prayers, to do all those things that nurture and feed your spirit, to come to church, to be around other believers, all those things. That's ultimately your responsibility. You're the steward of your own faith. So at risk of us trying to totally escape responsibility of this by saying that's all on them and not on me because I'm not in a leadership role. You have children, they're under your care. You have grandchildren, they are under your care. You are tasked with helping to raise them in the faith, and to teach them about God and all of that. So, and my brother and my sister are my brother's keeper. I'm supposed to help others too. So none of us gets out of this one, I don't believe, scot-free. We could read that and try to discern different levels of hell in this scripture. I think that's really misguided. I think that you're taking that it's more different levels of judgment, not of hell. If you are, what is the degree of your wrongdoing? You're going to be judged more severely. So let's look at it that way. It's not about depths or levels of the afterworld. To me, that's puzzling. When I see pastors and the theologians trying to discern that out of this, I just don't see it there, folks. Different levels of judgment, yeah, that kind of goes along with it, don't it? But it's about judgment. There is judgment. We can talk about love all day long, and I love talking about love, and I think God is love, but you have a responsibility, and with responsibilities come consequences. So live up to your responsibilities. Take care of that which was entrusted to you, even if it's just yourself. So with that, I'm going to let you go. We'll come back tomorrow, and we'll keep moving through chapter 12. Chapter 12 is kind of a long one, so we'll get through it though eventually. So make sure that you take good care of yourself today. Be a good steward. Take care of your brothers and sisters. Take care of your children. Take care of your grandchildren. All of those people that have been placed in your care, even if you're the only one placed in your care, they're still in your own care. God bless you, and have a very blessed day, and be a blessing to someone today. And again, we lagged. We came in with a lag, we go out with a lag. Oh my. Be a blessing to someone today. Take care. Bye-bye.